watching 10 Faves, and I'm Tamara Hooks, and I'm glad that you're here. So we are up to fave number 5, so we're kind of halfway at this point. And what you're looking at is gonna be your choice on these really cool mirrors. And I know that you're saying, okay, well, Tamara, well, what makes those so fantastic? I mean, they're mirrors. We've seen mirrors 1,000 times, right? Well, you haven't seen these mirrors from Simple Human. First off, did you notice that I didn't even touch the mirror and the light came on? These are touchless, a beautiful censored mirror with an amazing quality to the glass of this magnification, so that when you look in them, you can actually see clearly. And when you are looking into a magnifying mirror, many times magnifying mirrors are distorted. These are not. And these are gonna be your choice of either the large mirror, which is 8 inches in size, or the small mirror, which is 5 inches in size. And I say small, but I don't think it's small. I think it's a great size, but if you do want a slightly smaller version, you can definitely get the smaller one. These have that beautiful warm light. It's like a ring light that you would see from, you know, in a beauty set. And it's because they're lit with LEDs, long-lasting LEDs. You never change a light bulb. These LEDs last for over 25 years, if you can believe that. But that's when you use this for about an hour a day, which most of us probably won't even use them for even that long. So you've got a long lifespan. These are rated to perform like new, even after 10,000 hours of use. The light on this is amazing, but it's more than that. So you've got your micro reflectors. This is a unique pattern that disperses light evenly. So there's no light loss. You don't have hot spots. You don't have, if you've ever looked into a mirror and maybe you had light around you, but there were certain parts of the mirror where it was still kind of dark because for whatever reason, the light didn't reach that area. The fact that you've got this in this beautiful round LED lit, perfectly symmetrical mirror with no distortion means that when you look into that mirror, you're seeing clearly. So think about this, when you're putting on your makeup, when you're putting on your eyeliner, or maybe when you're putting in your contact lenses and you really need to see clearly, you want a mirror that's gonna allow you to do that. You've got this lighted magnifying mirror, no matter whether you're getting the 5-inch or the 8-inch. So it helps you to see no matter what it is, whether it's makeup precision, maybe you are, you know, maybe you're tweezing and you wanna make sure you tweeze your eyebrows perfectly. You wanna make sure you've got that perfect cat eye when you're doing your eyeliner, or that smoky eye. You wanna make sure that when you're doing your makeup, you've got that beautiful blend, and looking in a regular mirror, you can't do that. This actually helps you to create a flawless look, no matter what you're going for. And it's touch-free, so there's no, you know, if your hands are filled with makeup, or you've got your contact lens in your hands, or you've got soap all over your hands, or lotion, you don't have to worry about getting anything on these mirrors. I like that it just gives you that warm, gentle LED light that is so beautiful. And the light will stay on as long as it's detecting that motion, as long as you're there. But when you move, you know, when there is no motion detected, the light after a few seconds will go off. So you don't have to ever worry about this battery running out, which is gonna be great. Now, I do recognize that these are a little bit, maybe a little pricier than your traditional lighted mirrors. And I know that you can go out into the stores and find lighted mirrors, you know, in, you know, the big, you know, bath and body stores and things of that nature. But have you ever found that you have a lighted mirror and the light was okay, it wasn't great, the mirror was okay, but it was a little distorted, and you found that you had to look really closely into the mirror just to be able to see clearly? If that was the case, then even if you only spent, you know, maybe a fraction of the cost that you're seeing that these are, it wasn't money well spent if you weren't getting the best use of the mirror. If you find that the mirror in your car rear view, you know, your car rear view mirror is better than the mirror in your bathroom that you probably spent a lot of money on, then maybe it's time for you to step up and try a better one. Try this True Luxe light system that closely resembles natural bright sunlight, so that you can see that full color variation when you're putting on your makeup. So you make sure that that lipstick is really red and not pink. You make sure that that eyeliner is the one that you wanted. We've got these for you available in either the large 8-inch or the small 5-inch. You do have flex pay to get